Vaughn. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. I'm your host, Jody Chocolate Thunder Williams, and tonight my guest is the guy. He is so busy. My man is a competitor, promoter, sponsorship guy, father of three, daughter's got travel volleyball. The man gets about 5, full hours, if that, of sleep just to charge his batteries to start it all over again. Mr. Alan Vaughn, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks, Jody. Thanks for having me, buddy.
So tell me something, and you've been watching lately because I've been doing this thing, trying to promote the ladies and give them a platform and all that kind of good stuff. And Gina is doing great things.
Oh, man.
Kudos to her. She's been kicking ass and taking names and stuff like that. But you know what, though? I will be on record and apologize because I'm so into what she's doing and stuff, and she's doing great things that I totally spaced that. I knew you were doing one, but I haven't put any light on that because you got competitors in your round robin that's not doing the one Gina's putting on. Yeah. And I feel like I've kind of neglected that. So let me be the first to say I apologize. I'm sorry for that.
Hey, it's all good, brother. Myself and Gina, we talk daily. I mean, seriously, we talk multiple times daily, feeding off one another. What an amazing person. First of all, y'all better put respect on Gina Suckles' name right now as a promoter. I'm telling you, she's not only just putting on a good event, she's taking care of these ladies behind the scene too. So I want to go ahead and put that out there, as being Katie's agent. We're going up there to support that event as well. Katie participating in that. Hats off to Gina. I'm not even kidding. And I'm enjoying getting to know her, us talking and working together as promoters and building one another at the same time. So, hey, no disrespect whatsoever taken on, all the light that one's getting because it's very deserving of it. Very, very deserving of it.
All right. People are in the chat. My man from Utah, Scott Evans, he has an awesome super match coming up in February up in Utah. My man, my rival, Macho Man's in the house, You got Ryan Boussier. So everybody's the Drew 24. All the main characters are here tonight. Now, with that being said, and we've been talking about sponsor, right? That's been a big thing because you have a package, don't you? You have a sponsorship package, correct?
Yep. For the event, we've got multiple packages for the event, start from a platinum all the way down to the bronze and the packages. But we're also, because we're going to have so many super matches, I'm wanting to be able to put money directly on a match. If you want to say, hey, I want Shauna Wagner, I want to donate $50 to Shauna Wagner flat out, you can sponsor Shauna Wagner. And that's unlimited sponsorships on the fighters and the matches. So it's not just to the round robin and the event, and that goes zero to my pocket. You know what I mean? I want everybody to understand that. That's going to these ladies and making them feel valued because they are valued. And that's what I'm going for.
There you go. And what's unique about your round robin, and we briefly talked about that before we went live. And the number one question I always had when we're doing these shows is that how far in between weeks are you and Gina's event is?
She's April the 11th and I'm May 2nd. So what are we talking? Three-ish?
Yeah.
3-ish weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And my number one, I guess you could say, concern, we'll use the word concern, because you got 7 of these athletes who are competing in both. And I've always said, is there going to be enough, turnaround time, enough rest time? Because I'll name you the 7 athletes that are going to be in Gina's event and your event. You got Stephanie Spencer, Tamara Mitz, Danielle Evanson, Jessica Paz, Katie Marie, Martha Swick, Freddie Forrest. Those 7 ladies I just mentioned are also going to be on yours, and they're being on Gina's too. And they're both on the same arm because your event is also right-handed, just like Gina's is.
Yeah, as I told you, Gina and I, we talked about this and we laugh about it now. We had both already planned the events, right-hand round robins. And then I stumbled across her event and I was like, where did this come from? And I sent a screenshot to Katie. I was like, you know anything about this? She's like, no. I was like, I'm gonna hit Gina up. I didn't know Gina. I'm just going off of who was posting it. And we tossed and everything. I was like, hindsight's 2020. And I told you, it didn't even cross my mind at the time. I would have made mine left hand.
I'm gonna send
2020. I would have made it left hand.
I have an idea, and I'm gonna send this link to Gina. I hope she gets on here because I have a good idea as I'm talking to you, and I think it might be awesome. I'm hoping she gets on here because what I'm about to say, and if she gets on here, I'll bring it up. But I think it's gonna be awesome. It won't happen until next year though. So but yeah, continue though. So tell me something. What state is your event in?
It's going to be in North Carolina, and right now we've got 11 states, 2 different countries, and 2 provinces being represented at ours in North Carolina. We've got them coming all the way from Ontario, um, Katie Hankey coming from Oregon, Sean up
Yes.
there in
Yes.
Wisconsin. We've got them all over. Stephanie Spencer, is she still California? I believe is Stephanie still California? Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, they're coming from all over. Lexi Deerfield, love Lexi's family. Shout out to the Deerfield family, love them. Lexi Deerfield coming from Minnesota. They're all over, and Gina's bringing her Canucks down from Canada. I'm very very excited about that. So
Well, I'm excited for him. Now,
yeah.
you're going to have some legends in this one because
Oh yeah.
you have, obviously we know Tamara Miss, legendary Hall of Famer, by the way, Canadian Hall of Fame puller, but you also have Beth Dukes. Now, she's coming back, back in the 2010s when she was just kicking everyone's ass, then, she took time off. She became a mom, focused on family, and now she's getting back into it. And so it's good to see her back into the frame of things. And so you have a lot more knowledge of the ladies in the Southern contention than anybody else. So you want to go ahead and run through that and see what you think?
And talk about Beth Dukes, what a great personality getting to know Beth over this, and Katie's super excited about pulling Beth. When Katie and I first started our journey, that was one of the names she was wanting to pull. She's like, she's a legend. I'd be honored to lock up with her. So I was happy when Beth accepted the invite. But you're just talking about the legends, touch base. We've got Christina Casto out of West Virginia, who is a pioneer for the sport, not just in West Virginia, arm wrestling in general, but ladies arm wrestling, especially on the East Coast. Deb Benayan, Candy Passmore. It goes on and on. Sarah Ray, very excited about having Sarah Ray competing. And, talking about a favorite, Sarah might be that favorite on the 154s. So, it's having a lot of them around. We've got some young ones. When I say young, I mean as in experienced. Jessica Potts just started training 6-7 months ago, but the girl is showing out. She's strong. She's eager. And I like finding those diamonds in the rough. I've had them through the men where somebody catches my eye. There's just something about them that, and I've had them with the men, and I start name dropping them right now with the Jamie James out of Virginia. But Jessica, something about Jessica has just got my eye where it's like I see a lot in her, and I'm excited about getting her to take this huge leap in competition, in competition. So excited about her. But Martha Swick, Scarlett Wood down in Georgia. It goes on and on. A couple names you may not have heard: Mackenzie Redmond, who, if North Carolina was able to have the separated weight classes for females, Mackenzie is just dominating the 154s. So she's like family to me. So I'm excited about having her as well. But Danielle Evanson, come on. Danielle Evanson.
It speaks for itself, right?
Yeah. But I'm really excited getting to know all these ladies. Katie Hankey, what a great personality. Getting to know these ladies, it's been awesome. It's been an incredible experience so far. And, in the last few days, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we've introduced 8 young ladies, juniors, 13 and below so far, that's coming there, whether they're coming with family or teammates. I'm really excited about that. Annabelle Thackeray is coming with Gina from Canada. Emma Soto, I don't know if a junior puller, junior national champion, 18 years old. She's bringing her little sister with her. She's got super matches. So it's very, very exciting. It's turned out to do exactly what I was wanting to happen. So,
you know what? And I've been telling the ladies that with these events coming up, there's going to be people watching. And I guess if you want to say promoter, I can probably throw you in there. Because I told the ladies the last X amount of shows I've done about this, I said, you're going to have people like Ian Carnegie from MAC watching. You're going to have Tim Talmadge from Arm Sports Entertainment watching. I can throw your name in there now, too, because like you said, I'm watching because maybe you want to put together a package up a match down the road on one of your events. If you see someone that really catches, like you said, catches your eye, you can do that also. So I told the ladies, hey, go out there, give it your all because you don't know who's watching.
between the, I'll be at the April event, at Gina's April event. So between those two events, you think I'm not looking at all these hands? That women's tournament, I'm gonna be there watching the women's tournament. You think I'm not looking at the left hands to see what we can do together. Maybe 26, myself and Gina, where we can start maybe talk about putting something together. I'm excited about it. And the women's arm wrestling isn't where it needs to be in the South and in the United States right now, Southeast, I should say, United States. So that's what we're trying to really build up. It's kind of a small circle where they're all just facing one another, and we're trying to expand that. So really excited about it.
So sponsorship, because last year there were two athletes that I sat there and I was proud of them. When you talk about Dustin Dewey out of Texas, you're talking about Katie Marie, and I said, you know what? As arm wrestlers, we know how difficult it is to get sponsorship. We know, not everybody has one. So when you see an athlete get one, you applaud them. Hey, congratulations, because we all know, like, sometimes, a lot of us are still paying out of pocket to go to these events. Sometimes we get opportunities where that stuff's being taken care of for you. But for you, just to kind of put it out there, what does your sponsorship entail? Like, when you sponsor an athlete, what does that look like to you?
So I'll keep it vague. Keep it, high.
Yeah, just you don't have to get into detail, but just kind of just brush over it.
So I'll be honest with you. When Katie's my first athlete. My first athlete, and I knew Katie going into it. Shane, and it's I've watched Katie grow not only as a puller, as a arm wrestler, but as a person. And I'm seeing the support system she has behind her, as well as the events. And that's, as an agent, when we look at sponsorships, you want to know you're going to invest in something sustainable. And when I'm looking at Katie, I'm seeing sustainability. I know she's got the support she needs. I'm seeing her continue to push herself. She's focused. And so when we put this together, the main thing was I wanted to know what her journey was. What was she wanting? So, she gave me, we looked, myself, her, we looked at the events, and we obviously we pull in Shane, they're a power couple. So we talk everything together, and we're looking at the events that they're wanting to do. And then we look at, hey, what's your totem pole you want to climb? You know what I mean? And Katie, being the humble person that she is, she's nothing, she wants to start at her level and gradually work up. And one thing I'll say about Katie O is she wants to earn it. She don't want a damn thing given to her. That girl don't want a damn thing given to her. She wants to earn every single step, and I admire that. So we started putting that together. Well, then the events start coming about with the April event. We scheduled our May event. We're looking at all the other 98 events I'm putting on in 2026. I'm scheduling those events around her dates. But as we get to the sponsorship, we don't make no money in this sport, Jody. None of us make any money in this sport.
Only I can count on one hand how many people make money at this sport. So
I lost out $4,000 my last event, nearly $4,000 my last event. But what I'm getting at is, it's even harder for females to get the sponsorship. And so I start targeting people that I think will buy, great people. The event that I have in May is a female-owned venue, female food truck, female after show. I think you see what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? I'm starting to look at these people, the businesses I'm going to target to sponsor that event and sponsor Katie, female owned mainly, not primarily, but mainly. And I'm looking at the locals and, trying to find the people that share. A lot of them don't know anything about arm wrestling. So we have to break it down to them and explain to them. But next thing you know, I've got people coming up to me at the local sports bar grill, and they're like, hey, Katie's from East Bend. How do I get involved with, I'm from East Bend, North Carolina. I want to get involved. So it's, it has not been easy. And I say that, but Katie and I also, just last night was like, we look at it, we just started in September. It's just January, and we're progressing this quickly. So really can't complain.
Because now, and for those that don't know in the chat, where's all the ladies at? Ladies, what the hell? What's going on? So she has t-shirts out now. So they come in like red, blue, green, purple,
teal, orange,
all kind of colors. So can you explain to everybody in the chat what that looks like?
Yeah, so once again, we're trying to raise money for her journey. None of this is to go to pocket money. This is just to get her to Ontario, to get her to all these different events, to travel. And it's not cheap. And these shirts was kind of, it really wasn't something that was planned out. And I got to thinking about the shirts, and I said, Katie, you design it. So she got with my graphics guy. They designed it. Within 30 minutes, they've got an image that looks like Katie. I mean, you would have thought it was he put in AI and make an image of Katie Marie Owens, and it spit it out, but it didn't. And they, within the next couple of days, they had it finalized, and it's bit. We had a great amount of sales so far, and that is going 100% towards Katie's journey to Ontario right now, because it's not cheap to travel, to fly, to get a car rental, to the hotels, and as much as Gina's getting the discounts for us and everything, still, and that's all
Right.
Katie. It's not me. I mean, that's all Katie's. My promotion takes care of me. It doesn't. So we're trying to raise the money for Katie.
Hey, Gina, you there?
Gina.
Where's the video at?
I'm in my dark car because tonight's practice, so it literally starts in 15 minutes, and I just saw your link. So
what's going on, Gina?
Oh, not much. How about you?
Oh, not much.
I'm glad you're on because I had Alan was talking and something triggered in my head. I want to get you on here, right? Because the both of you got important round robins with the ladies division coming up, back-to-back months, actually 3 weeks apart, and they're both right hand. I got an idea for you two next year. Are you willing to hear me out, both of y'all?
I am, yes.
Oh yeah.
What would happen if next year, right? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
What would happen next year if you had this ladies event, right? Gina, you get 5 of the best Canadian ladies you can get. Woo. Alan, you get 5 of the best American ladies you can get, and just have it out.
Oh, like a challenge against each other kind of thing, like Canada
Why not?
versus US?
Why not?
You don't want Canada to win anything, Jody. You don't want Canada to win anything.
I'm just saying. Think about that for a second. Because Alan, you got all the connections with the ladies. You got the connections. You got the round robin. You can look at your list. Because there's North Americans and Canadians. Same thing with Gina's event. She has North Americans and Canadians. You can kind of go, you know what? Let me get this, because there's a certain individual that is now on either one of these events, and she's kind of sitting up there going, who would you get to counter Katie, Courtney Hike? Who would you do? You see what I'm saying? You see how I'm going with this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, could you imagine next year? Like I said, I'm just throwing it out there. You don't have to do that.
Oh, no. Gina and I, we've already developed such a great relationship. I don't think there's anything we wouldn't be willing to try to partner together to do if it helped grow. I think we can already tell that about one another, that right. we both have the same intent, the same end game of just wanting to grow women's arm wrestling. So I wouldn't turn down nothing Gina presented to me. I know the two of us would do great in whatever we planned together, 100%.
Gina, what do you think?
I think the same. We actually we've been talking a lot, and we've definitely grown a nice little relationship, and it's not something that I'd turn down. I think that'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, we got some pretty badass Canadians.
Oh, 100%. I was joking. Katie's probably thinking, Katie's probably thinking, "Shut up, Alan." I get that a lot, so she's probably thinking, "Shut up, Alan."
Yeah, I can think of so many great Canadians. It's 100%. Too bad, Patrina, but she's currently having a baby. So, and then we got Jocelyn, Sarah.
Gabby does live in United States, right?
Oh yeah, she does, and Sarah Backman from Boston.
Yeah.
But a lot would depend on. Obviously, a lot would depend on availability. Depending on if you two got together. Hey, when's a good time to do this? Sometime in the summer, because summer would probably be ideal. What happened? Summer would be ideal because for Madison Lynn, she's a teacher, so she's probably going to be more available in the summer. So and then there's no school, right, for some, so they're probably more available in the summer. Then you got to kind of go, okay, well, how you want to do this? You want to go team of obviously an odd number, because one team has to win to eliminate a tiebreaker. It has to be an odd number, and then you two can figure out who you want. Yeah, like I said, a lot depends on availability, that kind of thing. It's just something that popped in my head. Like I said, you don't have to do that, but It's just something I was like,
I think it was last week. Gina and I talked about, when we hit left hands, because both of us was trying to figure, we neither one of us knew about each other's events when we started them. And Gina, I don't know if you was on earlier, but I told him, I said, hindsight 2020. If I would have thought of it, I would have went left hand. You know what I mean? It never even crossed my mind. I would have changed mine to left hand once. Yeah, you would have been all over that too. I know.
I love left
But
hand.
I would have changed mine to left hand, but Gina and I talked about later on we want to do the same thing, but we'll split them out, and
coordinate better.
Maybe we talk about, hey, Alan and United States host one, Gina hosts the other, and we counter with one. I don't know. Like I said, I'm enjoying getting to know her, watching her grow. Her promotion is phenomenal, and I would love to partner with something like that in the future, 100%. So.
Hey, that's cool. We'll take tonight, plant the seeds.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool. Obviously, we got to wait these events to come by. It's only January. We still got a few more months before we can really start, grinding that kind of stuff. But
I know Gina's probably as nervous as I am about all of our competitors still being so far in. I know she's as nervous as I am.
I'm nervous, but I don't know. Like, I also I just visualize everybody coming. Like in my mind, like it's set, it's done, it's. Do you know what I mean? And
Yep.
yeah, I'm really I know it's not until April and yours isn't until May, but in the arm wrestling world with all the preparation and everything that goes into it, it comes faster than you
You're
think.
right.
Except for the athlete, they're sitting there all oh, I want to go now, but
yeah, you're right, 100%. You could not have said any better. It flies by for us. It flies by for us with everything we have to do.
And I know there's a handful of ladies on you guys' cards that have tournaments or super matches prior to these big events. And so all we ask for is just make sure you come out healthy. That's all we ask for, because I'm telling you, the array of talent in both events, I'm like, man, I'm flabbergasted, because I'm thinking it's so going to be, exciting to watch. Now, Gina, I don't know if you saw, but when I post that flyer the other day, Greg Brown responded. He says, hey, is anybody going live? I'd love to record. I said, Gina is your contact person. I don't know if he got a hold of you yet or how that worked out, but he's interested in filming the event. I don't know if you talked to him yet. Have you?
No, he has not reached out to me yet. I don't we don't know who each other is really, so maybe that's why. So if right now, my intentions were to do live stream, and I do have we were looking at a way of setting up the video where we would have a split screen kind of thing through YouTube. But I am open to ideas, and I recently just had somebody reach out to me about some things, and so just waiting on that to see what kind of comes from that. So
yeah, Gina and I have talked about some other things as far as live stream. I don't really want to say it on air or anything, but we was talking about some other things, how to help build a little bit and bring a little more to these ladies and to the sport as well. So it's it just takes time getting started, and it's just little by little, right, Gina?
Yeah.
Now, I know Gina said that when her event, no one knows who's going to pull who in the first round until the day of the event. So that secret's been kept. People are going to be on the edge of the seat. Alan, are you going by the same thing or no?
No, I will have every round I'll have it posted. I'll have every round posted ahead of time.
Woo! What?
I cannot see that, because my mind will be oh.
I did that with I did the 176 round robin with the men's. I brought the nation's best 176ers in to North Carolina 2 years ago, I believe, and I let them decide. I was like, what would y'all rather have? And it was 14 of them, and it was unanimous. 14 of them said they wanted to know what their schedule was ahead of time. So I was going to just reapply the same thing with the ladies.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's exciting, because there's that mysterious, at Gina's event, man, who am I pulling? I don't know. Could I be pulling Merlene, or could I be pulling, Katie? Could I be pulling Tamara? Could I be pulling Lucky? You just don't know, right? So it's okay, now what? Alan's like, you know what? I'll throw it up there right now. Hey, first round, guess what? I got Christina Castro, I got Katie Hankey, let's roll. Or whatever the case would be.
And, I think it's, we have to choose one or the other, and when I was talking to the the 176ers when I did it 2 years ago, they want to plan. It's a strategy. They want to plan. So if you've got your biggest match, and like I think I commented on this when you're last night, is like you've got to pick and choose those wars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you are in a losing position, do not kill yourself in round 1 or 2. And that's where it takes. You got to think, and put your pride aside. And the guys wanted that, and I just felt it was probably just be fine to reapply with the ladies in this. So
I agree. What do you think, Gina?
No, I like it's. I think both sides of the coin are beneficial. Because
pick your poison, right? Pick your poison. It's all the It's
like because like if you go in and who like your opponent your first is, and then everyone after that, then you can kind of like try to look at them, see like how you want to come to the table with that person. Like it kind of gives you a different strategy when you're going into a round robin. But you still you need your endurance. And then like when you don't know, at the same time, it also kind of keeps you on your toes with training. Like it makes you want to be a little bit more versatile because you don't know what you're gonna face, and
completely agree.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just. I don't think either one is better than the other. I think it's just a personal preference. It's. I kind of like that we're doing it differently though, because I think we may learn from it moving forward. You know what I mean? I think it might be the beauty of it that we're doing it different here, and we can learn from each other. And Gina's gonna be pulling in both of them, and so she would know. What are you pulling? You are pulling yours, right, Gina?
Oh, my light went out. So I'm gonna be a fill-in in case anybody doesn't show up.
Wild card.
Well, so if we've got 7 that are in the same, I think it'd be wise for myself and Gina at the end, like, hey, what was your preference? From those 7 that's doing them both, and we learn, right? This is what the sport's about, learning from one another. So
yeah.
Now I will say this because I'm kind of curious, Alan, because Gina has said, and I've had her on the show, a couple times now, Gina.
Yeah.
And the top 3, both divisions, there's cash. But then she says, "Oh, we're not done yet. Top 6, they're getting rings." I'm like, okay, here we go. Not a comparison, but I'm just kind of curious. Alan, you're round robin. What are the awards or whatnot? Is there payouts? What are we talking about?
Out the top 3, 500, 250, 125 to the top 3. Taking care of all the round robin competitors, 2-night stay, and then trying to build on the sponsorships where I'm really going to see me really start pushing for the individual sponsorships. So you're going to see me hit up Oregon. Hey, get behind Katie Hankey. You're going to see me hit up Ontario. Hey, get behind Gina Suckless and Tamara Mitz and all these folks. And, you're going to start seeing me pushing that a whole lot. I did that with the 176 round robins and ended up getting about 6 sponsored athletes that businesses jump behind. So I'm looking forward to really start pushing that, especially now that I'm working on a national level international level, really, to where we can get behind those. So Jesse Hall, I just hired him on as part of 98% North Carolina. This guy is a networking. I've never seen anybody like it. From Wisconsin. You think I'm not going to use Jesse to get behind Shauna Wagner in Wisconsin to knock on all those doors and try to get some money behind her? Come on, and it's things like that to try to reward these pullers a little bit more. But yeah, right now, top 3 payouts, 500, 250, 125 for the top 3.
Gina, do you know your cash payouts for yours or no?
Not at the moment. I do have a number in mind. But I'm kind of just I'm gonna save that as something maybe in February I might release, or the end of January.
Right. I'll tell you what. Do you have a picture of what those rings? I'm just kind of curious.
I am too.
I'm curious.
When Katie wins hers, I'm gonna make her donate it to 98 North Carolina. I know that.
Katie actually knows what they do look like, because I do believe I shared it, because like I have a group chat. And I do believe I share everything with the ladies in there.
Hey, whoa! You didn't share the ring with me because if I would have saw a picture of that, I would have posted that on there, going, "Hey, these ladies here are pulling for these top 6. Get one. Come and earn one. Come on, Gina, you killing me."
You talking about Gina mentioned sharing everything with the ladies. Gina can attest to this. I made the mistake of asking 20 plus females, Gina, in our group chat to decide on a shirt color. The biggest mistake I could have ever made was to ask 20 females to agree on a shirt color for our event shirt.
Yeah.
Sean even said, revisit next week, Alan. We'll let you know.
All right, Gina, you got homework. You need to send me a photo of what those rings look like or what they're going to look like.
I can, yeah. I can like give a fair description. Like it's gonna have Queen of the Table on top, and then it will have customized like first place to sixth place.
Hell yeah.
For the weight class and right hand.
Yeah, send me a picture of that because again, if I'm gonna help get this thing out there, I gotta have everything. I gotta have a picture of what's going on. I gotta throw it out there because that right there, because I'm sure all the ladies who are competing knows about that, but still, just to kind of get more eyes on that going, well, damn, if they're getting rings, I want to be a part of the next one because you never know, right?
Yeah. And then I also changed. I was gonna do custom medals for the tournament, but I ordered I made custom crystal awards to kind of like make it more special instead of a traditional medal as well. So I'm yeah.
No, that's good. And here's the thing. You two are doing something so differently. It's very intriguing because now it's like, oh, okay. So you're not doing medals, but you got crystals and you got rings. I'm thinking, okay. Alan, are you going to have a tournament after your round robin also? Yes?
No, we're having 10 plus super matches before and then 10 plus super matches after. We're going to have a third table for the youth, custom made table that my team, Silverback Arms Crew, we're building for the youth ladies to pull on. So, no, we'll be filled up with super matches before and super matches after. I think I'm going to estimate 25-ish plus super matches total.
Because for your event, I'm rooting for Katie Hankey. I might be biased because I'm from Oregon, but yeah. I'm rooting for her. So, are these ladies? Are they pulling for pride, ranking, money, or what they actually competing for
in the super matches?
Yes,
they will. I mean, if it's national, if they are nationally ranked, they would be pulling for their national ranking because it will be. They'll have to weigh in. So if they are nationally ranked in the Hook, Southeast, whatever it may be, they'll pull. I can give you Lisa Ann and Beth Dukes off the top of my head are pulling for. Lisa would be pulling for Beth's number 2 in the Southeast, I think.
Okay.
Shauna Wagner and Katie Owens are pulling for number 1. I mean, they're both number 1. Let's see, I got the list of matches.
Is that left hand or right hand?
So everybody that's in that round robin are pulling left hand. So I got Lucky Wood versus Maddie. They're gonna pull right hand because neither one are in the round robin. Katie Owens versus Shauna Wagner, 2 number 1s in their states. Lucky versus Gina. Y'all are pulling left hand, right, Gina? Christy Resendez, who, hey, if you don't know Christy Resendez, Christy is bad. A lot of people don't know Christy. She stays kind of quiet, but she's pulling Jessica Potts, left hands. Katie Hankey versus Leah Hennessy. I like that. Katie Hankey versus Leah Hennessy. I like that. Emma Soto versus Candy Passmore. Deb Benayan versus Candy Passmore, Lisa Ann versus Beth Dukes, Emma Soto versus Christina Casto, and Stephanie Spencer versus Deb Benayan left hand. So there's some really good matches there amongst some nationally ranked females.
You know what? That right there is just. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, here's Gina's event, round robin tournament. Your event, round robin, super matches before and after. Yep. So. There's going to be a lot of pulling. I'm going to tell you, Alan, like I've told Gina and all the guests I've been having on lately, that when this is all said and done and you two's events are in the rearview mirror, there's going to be some super matches that are stemming from the round robin because all we know is that, okay, now what would happen if these two ladies met up and they were fresh for fresh? That's always going to be a question no matter what you say, no matter what you do. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Trust me.
So the biggest, and we've all been part of this conversation before, is tournaments versus super matches. What is better for the sport? And I like that. This is a personal preference. Neither one, there is no right or wrong answer.
Right.
And, kind of the same nature. Tournaments, you're prepared for anybody. I get it. Love it. Super matches, fresh for fresh, you're prepared for one person. So, yeah, I'm going up to Canada because I want to look at all these lionesses up in Canada to see what I want to start putting in front of Katie. you know, and there's names, there's people, you know, and a couple of them are in the round robin, but there's some that's not in the round robin as well. But you know, and I'm looking across the country, and there's some that I'm still knocking on their door, trying to get them here to the one in May, and just haven't got their commit yet. I don't want to give their names out there, but there are some that, you know, there's some I wanted to be there, they can't make it, but there's some I'm still trying to get there.
It's almost like you. Oh, sorry, Gina. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm so sorry, guys. My practice is getting ready to start. I must go and train. I really want to stay with you guys, but
No, go ahead and do your thing.
thank you so much though for letting me on here and chatting with you guys, and maybe we can like schedule another one down the road.
Yeah,
let's
I'm
do
sure
that.
I'll talk to you tomorrow sometime or another.
And I will definitely send you the rings, Jody. I promise.
Enjoy your night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I'm liking, you know, like you're going up to Canada, you know, but you're also going up there. It's almost like you're there on a mission because obviously you want to see Katie do good.
Yeah.
But then you also kind of taking notes going,
I've got to wear my promoter hat while I'm there. I'm not
you gotta have your promoter hat.
Yeah.
You gotta go, okay, how would Katie fare against this person?
Yeah.
Or that person. So it's gotta cross your mind, does it not?
Oh yeah, it does. And I'd be lying if I said I'm not eyeing the side tables. I'm not. I look for things outside the wins and losses. I'm looking outside of technique and people and their character and things like that because I feel like I'm fairly decent at reading people, and that's I'm looking forward to getting to learn a lot of these ladies. And oh yeah, 100%. Super matches bring in money.
There you go.
I'm not necessarily talking about promotion. I'm talking about they bring in money to the pullers, you know. And I had I don't want to throw numbers out there. I had a hell of a pot for Robbie Russell and Ryan Bellinger, and a couple events I've got coming up in June and July. Well, in June there's another super match series. A lot of money gonna be involved, and super matches tend to bring the puller more money. Tournaments bring a promotion more money through the admissions and stuff like that. The entry fees, excuse me, they bring in the promotion more money. But super matches put more money in the pullers' pockets, and
Gotcha.
so that's kind of what I'm trying to give back, you know. And like I just told you, my last event I lost out, but it's okay. It's an investment to me. It's an investment to where I'm building part of growth, and that's how I saw it. Didn't feel good during Christmas time, but it's how I'm looking at it now.
That kind of hurt, you know.
Yeah.
I got a question. It's $1 million question, and I'm sure that maybe whoever's watching might start to comment when I ask this question. Do you think with the sponsorship, you know, that Katie has, there's pressure on her? Do you see? Okay,
I put a target on her back, 100%, and I'm continuing to put that target on her back. And I'm going to make that target bigger and bigger and bigger because she's that damn good, and she's that damn focused, she's that damn driven, and I have complete faith in her. I want that target on her back because she's been underestimated. She's been, I don't want to say unappreciated because I think that's all females in the sport, but she has certainly been underestimated. And in her defense and to everyone else's defense, that small circle I talked about in our region, she's just seen the same people over and over and over again. So she hasn't got to see that big stage yet. And she and I have talked about this. This isn't nothing she and I don't talk about regularly. So what this is all about is getting her there. So 100% it has put a target on her back. You think I didn't know that when we put the shirts out there?
Oh, I'm sure you did, because I mean, for me, and I've said, okay, I'm excited, intrigued. I want to see what she does. And I've said this, men too, men, women, you know, whatever. I've always said, and this is the truest thing for me. Some people may agree, some may not. You don't know how good you are until you start competing outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, outside of your region, outside of your backyard, zip code, neighborhood, driveway, whatever. So now when Katie's going across the border and she's going to no women's land, and she's pulling some badass Canadians too, on top of the women she doesn't know that's in the States, that's on the other side of the country. And they're also going to be there too. And so now with this promotion behind her, we'll call it the machine. The machine is behind her, you know, and I always thought that, okay, well, is she ready for it? You know, she got the shirts out now. Like, okay, it's like the next big thing almost, right? To where it's like, okay, well, let's see what she can do. So now all eyes are going to be on her for the most part because of all this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I signed Katie in September to 98 North Carolina myself. And then I think it was the first week of November, I gave her first photo shoot. I
Yeah.
knew exactly what I was
Oh,
doing, Cody. I knew
talking
exactly
about
what I was doing.
the black and
And
white one?
a black and white one. It was I set up with Amanda Edens. Shout out to Amanda Edens Photography. I set up with Amanda at one of our events. She got into a local gym and she went to a park, and it could not have turned out any better. I knew exactly what I was doing because the girl deserves that stage, and we're going to get her there. And you know how it goes with this game. I've got to if I'm going to these businesses need to see her, and Katie brings a lot to the table, and no pun intended, she brings a lot to the table. But I want them to see that. So getting her face out there, and it's working. And the thing is, it's not fake. It's not. This is just merely giving somebody that deserves it the opportunity, and more people deserve that opportunity. And all y'all promoters, hear me out when I say that. I don't care if you're a 98 promoter or whatever promotion you're with. Get behind these pullers. Get behind these athletes. Give them the opportunities they deserve, like I'm trying to do with Katie. So sorry, that's just a little bit get on my soapbox a little bit because I don't see it enough. Get behind these people that's putting in the work.
I can go get a bar of soap and just show it to you, dude.
Yeah, and like that's me talking peer to peer with my other promoters. Y'all need to get behind these people.
Now, the other side of the coin for that comment, and I've told Katie this myself. I said, okay, and I'll say it again. I said on previous shows before, maybe got a little hot water because I sat there and said, I think Katie is the favorite. I think she'll win the 160 plus class at the round robin in Canada. I said that, and I stand behind that still. I think she has the tools. Now, that might disgruntle people, one for the most part, but it's like, you got to pick somebody, right? But here's the second part of that $1 million question. With all that being said, you got the machine pushing her and stuff. Hey, this might be the next, thing coming. If she doesn't perform as well as she thinks she does, how does she respond to that? Because this sport can be critical, especially, in the world. I'm being honest. This is where I'm being honest now. Because we've all been, chastised on social media for like the littlest things and stuff. And, what I don't want to happen to anybody, not just Katie, but anybody, if they don't live up to that expectation, that bar or whatever, and all of a sudden they just start getting knocked down. I got close friends that compete on the East vs. West, and if they didn't come out on top, everybody just chastised them. And I thought that was bullshit. I don't want that to happen to anybody, or Katie also. So, if by chance, what if she doesn't take top 3? Then all of a sudden, what does that look like? Have y'all had that discussion before?
No, because it doesn't even have to need to happen. I'll tell you, I'll give you 2 reasons. We'll give you 2 reasons. What's the bigger setback than having your shoulder blown out off a break? And she came back and determined the way she's came, fought back. I'd take a loss over my shoulder being snapped in half the way it was, which, by the way, was at my event, and I take a lot of blame for because I set her up for failure. And then the 2, I talked about the support system behind these pullers. She's got that. She's got a support system behind there that, okay, I don't want to use the word failure, but like you said, maybe not live up to the expectation because the bar is set so high. She doesn't hit that. I know Katie, let's say April, she doesn't perform the way she wants to perform, or she expects to perform, I should say.
Right.
May, you'll see a different Katie. Guarantee it. In 3 weeks, short notice, you'll see a different Katie because a lot of it's up here. So she's one of the more focused, driven people I've ever seen, male or female. Take gender out of it. She's one of the more focused and driven people I've ever seen. But those 2 things, to see how she came back from a injury the way she did and has not lost any steam whatsoever moving forward, and the support system she has behind her, not just with Shane now. And I referred to me and Shane as her 2 goons to her last night. I said, she's got me and her Shane, her 2 hype men, but we're, and all kids, she knows she's got my 100% support, confidence. And I think it's obvious with Shane, Shane. But those 2 big reasons is why I have 100% faith in Katie. Even if she did not live up to her expectation, she may by far surpass my expectation, but she didn't live up to her expectation. Ain't gonna do nothing but drive that girl harder. I know it. I no doubt in my mind. I know that.
I like that answer. And also too, because you have to realize too that with all this going on, I feel, because I've talked to her before, and I said, you know what? The vibe I get from her is the fact that she is so eager, but it's just a waiting game. What's driving her crazy? It's like, fuck, it's not April. And I think that's really driving her. And I remember she was on the show last week or the week before. She was on there twice. And then she was going to Camel City, but now she can't because she was also coaching her son's basketball team. And they have a basketball tournament that day. So she won't be going to Camel City. I think, okay.
Incredible mom. Big plug to her as a mom real quick.
Yes.
Incredible mom. Incredible mom. Yep.
Yes. And Candy's in the house. What's up, Candy? How you doing? And and I know for her it's just like, okay, I want to go out there and show people so bad what I can do, but now it's just, oh my god, I gotta wait. And I think it might be driving her crazy. I don't know. You talk to her on a daily basis. I don't know, but that's the vibe I get from her.
I thought I was an impatient person. I thought I was impatient. I feel like every day I wake up to an LFG exclamation point from her every single day. I think she wakes up ready. But I'm not kidding. What I've seen from her in the last, like I said, it was before I even signed her. I'm going to go back almost a year now. What I've seen from her and her growth is just, it's unbelievable. And just, it comes back to that support. I mean, I 100% think it takes something like that injury with her and then getting the right support system behind her. And now she gets an additional person with me. And now she's with a great team. Her team loves her. They adore her. They embrace her. Shout out to Port City Pullers, incredible team down there in Wilmington, North Carolina. She has everything from her home life to her arm wrestling journey, passion, career, whatever you want to call it. The girls made some very good decisions and put the right people behind her.
Good. Now, I got a question about this sponsorship thing. Let's just say, just for shits and giggles, that your boy over here ended up moving to Greensboro, North Carolina, because that's where my daughter went to school. She went to college there, right? She went to North Carolina A&T.
Okay,
and let's just say,
go Aggies.
Let's just say your boy moved to Greensboro, okay? So, and I'm looking, all right, yo, Alan, what I got to do to get sponsored? What I got to do? What would that look like for that's if you want to open your door to another athlete to sponsor too, though.
I've got my eyes open. I'm looking, and right now, I wouldn't be lying. I had the same conversation with Katie when we first started this. There's a couple things that drew me to Katie. Was one, the growth I've seen. The main thing is the growth I've seen from a personal standpoint, and then on the table. Two, I'm looking at women's arm wrestling. Obviously, the ceiling is extremely high, Jody. The ceiling is extremely high. And that could come across as a selfish standpoint as a promoter that I'm trying to take advantage of a situation. Or am I trying to build something that deserves it? And that's how I see it. I'm trying to help build the women's arm wrestling. So with the men, I could pick a million different men, you know what I mean? And I could get behind them. It's much easier. But no, I'm looking at 98% North Carolina. And do I think in 2 years I'm going to be constrained to North Carolina? I don't. There's men out there, and not trying to take away from where we're talking to all, the women's podcast, but I've got close friends in West Virginia, without name dropping, Jacob Green, that deserves to be part of 98% sponsorship right now because of their growth in the sport. And, there's anybody that's eager and wants to become something better, wants to start with something, a promotion that's like this 98% North Carolina, and be loyal with it. And it's like I had the conversation with Katie. I do think Katie will outgrow me eventually. I do. I really do. I think Katie will outgrow Alan Vaughn in 98% North Carolina. She may not outgrow 98, but she may outgrow 98 North Carolina. And maybe she'll take me for the ride when she does. But
there you go.
Yeah, we had that conversation, and I was like, this is my first time being an agent. It's her first time being sponsored. We know each other well enough. We now talking about bumping heads. Me and Katie will bump some heads, and I think Shane probably sits back and laughs and enjoys the show. Katie and I'll bump some heads, but we make each other better. And I'm looking for somebody that's going to make me better as well. And as a promoter, as an agent, as an everything, maybe a better man. And whether it's a brother in arms or whoever it is, whomever, if they're going to make me a better person, I'm locking up with you, and I'm going to make you better.
I love that. And and what I love about this, what's going on now with the ladies division, because I remember not too long ago, for 3 years maybe I want to say, Sarah Ray was running a women's only tournament down in Texas.
Sarah,
And
shout out to Sarah Ray. It's been a huge help for me on this event too.
yes,
So,
and
yeah,
she was
sorry.
running stuff, and there was a couple years there was like, okay, cool, I love this, and then all of a sudden it just came to an end. I can't quite remember what happened to it, but it just stopped, and I was like, going, oh wow, because then I thought it was kind of doing this and growing, and then it just kind of came to a stop, and then it kind of just died out, and now with this next wave, of athletes, it's like going, you add Canada in the mix, and you got I think there's more ladies now in the U.S. than there were 10 years ago.
Yeah,
They're like real serious.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, you're not the first person that told me that there was a lot of steam moving forward with the women's at one point, and then it kind of fell off. And it's hard as a promoter. And I see Danny Atkins is chimed in the comments. Danny was part of my first round robins, Jody. I don't know if you know this, but we started as a road to the pros where we took some of the best amateurs in the Southeast and brought them together for we all agreed that was going to be our last round robin as amateurs, and we all went pro after. It was 10 of the best 198s at the time. Then I did 242 pluses. And it's fun you said it because I've kind of lost sight of the amateurs a little bit. And I've got to go back. I need to find a way I need to work with Ryan Grinding, and we find a way to bring the amateur, focusing on those amateurs more as well, because I don't need to lose sight of where I started. And that, I can see the same thing, like you said. It didn't really necessarily start with women's amateurs. We're starting with some women's, by far pros, legends of the sport in our country. And I don't want to get away from that as well. So it's all about, you continue to grow as a promotion. You got to find the right people to jump on board and sustain it. The sustainability is key. And like you said, myself and Gina partnering is another example of how that becomes sustainable. Finding somebody to work with so we can pick up off each other. And I'm all for partnering and growing and sharing the love with someone. And I think Gina is a perfect personality for that.
I don't know if you saw the show last night I had, but I made a comment, and it was regarding some of the legends of the sport. And I know I was asking some of the ladies, hey, do y'all do the same? It was Merlene, actually. Do y'all do the same thing we do as far as with the after pool? Because it's good to see ladies like Beth Dukes come back into the sport, Tamara Mitz come back into the sport, because we all got to remember they got lives too. They're mothers, they got families, they got other stuff going on. And now they're trying to, come back into the sport, which is good, because now when they walk in, it's a whole new group of ladies than they were when the last time they were active on a regular basis. It's good to see those two. It's good to see Christina Castro. It's good to see Candy Passmore, Deb Banyan. It's good to see Merlene. And I'm telling all these ladies out there what they should do. You don't have to do it, but what I encourage them, let me use that word, what I encourage them to do is pick their brain, because those players have been there and done that on a national level, a world level. They've been there and done that. And there was nothing better than having someone go there and go, Tamara, can we chat for a second? Tamara, Hall of Famer, right? To sit there and go, hey, can I chat for a second? Hey, what's it like? I got to pick your brain about competition. You've been to, 2009 Waff Worlds in Italy. She's been there, I ain't trying to name drop Tamara. Sorry if you're watching, but she's been there before. Or go to Christina Castro. She's been around. Christina, I need to talk to you. She knows. She's been refereeing, competing. She's a fixture at the Arnold's every year. Pick her brain. Beth Dukes, you've been to Worlds. You went there and whipped some ass. I think she went to the 2008 Worlds in Canada or something like that. What's it like? What was it like when you were dominating I want the ladies that are now get into the fold.
I think I can give you probably the best example of I've got for that. Like you're talking, I've got Emma Soto versus Christina Castro right hand. Emma Soto is 18 years old, national champ.
Really?
18 years old, national champ. She's got some powerlifting. I put her resume on my Facebook a couple weeks ago, but it's very impressive for an 18-year-old, and she's won nationals, IFA, junior IFA nationals, and putting her with Christina Castro is a perfect example of what you're talking about, Jody. Like regardless of how that match goes, you think Emma's not going to be extremely humbled and honored and just to hold hands with Christina at the table, and Christina as well knows she's passing something down when she does.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a perfect example of exactly what you're talking about. Whereas, regardless of how this match goes in, I'm absorbing everything. I know Emma will. She's going to be a sponge. And I think we've having all these young ladies I talked about earlier. I've got 8 young ladies coming. Beth Dukes' daughter being one of them. To have them there with the Debs and the Christinas and the Beths and the Katie Hankies and Candy and all these folks is to me huge because they're never going to forget that. They're never
Right.
going to forget that the rest of their life. They're not going to forget this arm wrestling event they went to and learned and from legends. So that to me is a big deal.
Now, I'm referring to like after the event.
Oh,
Now,
okay. Sorry.
during the event, these ladies is trying to take your damn head off. Rightfully so. There's some women out there that's like, you know what? I'm gonna slit this bitch's throat on the fucking table. But when it's all said and done, we're gonna sit there and talk shop, exchange, contacts, maybe training, advice, whatever. But on that table, I'm fucking you up. That's the kind of approach you gotta have, and it happens, you know what I mean? So and that's what it is.
And I can't imagine where it did. When I was at my last event, I had Rumble at the Rooster in North Carolina. I had 3 of the ladies that's going to be both mine and Gina's event was Lucky Wood, Jessica Potts, and Katie Marie Owens. They were all 3 there. And what were those 3 doing? They were back on the table by themselves, and even Lucky and Jessica had a match that day. But still, I look back there and them 3 are back there on the table together, and they're pulling up these youth females, and they're pulling all these, pulling everyone up. So, like you said, and I had never been to an event where I saw a lot of female after pulling, because typically at our events down here, it's Katie having an after pull with other men. I'm seeing Lucky have to after pull with other men, but it was nice looking back there. And we even had a break. I went by there and I saw them 3 on the table. And I made sure I talked to him. I grabbed a hold and I got slammed by Katie, obviously. So that was fun. But, I swung by there. So, I think 100% you've got these people like Deb is pure class. Class, definition of class. And there's no doubt in my mind she would love to work with these younger pullers to help build them up.
I've seen Deb Banyan whip some ass one year. It was one year's nationals. It was 2017 in Reno, and I kid you not, Deb Banyan rolled up in there in a dress and some heels and was whacking people.
That does not surprise me whatsoever. That does not surprise. And God, what a press! What a hell of a press! That I think she put in the chat the other night. She was about 135 soaking wet or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious! I don't want no part of that press. No part of that press. And, she too, the pure class. So when you say that doesn't even surprise me. I can see her husband Dean coming up in a daggone polo and slacks too, and doing the same thing.
Yeah, I can see that. I totally see that. Yeah, I totally see that. So. Once again, your event is you say May 11th?
May 2nd.
May 2nd. May 2nd, what city in North Carolina?
It's going to be in Warrenton, North Carolina, a place called Bragging Rooster. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bragging Rooster Beer and Mead. That's where we hosted the Rumble at the Rooster. Like I said, female-owned venue, beautiful, elegant, very classy, small town, incredible owner who's very accommodating. So it was very natural to go with Kim Catron and Kim Catron and Bragging Rooster again for this event. Very, very easy to do, and I'll work with her in the future, no doubt in my mind.
Well, there you go. See, Dan the Man Atkins said, yes, Warrenton, North Carolina, the Bragging Rooster. There you go, beer and
Dan will be doing our MC in there. He does a live stream for the event. He did it recent ones. And Dan, if you don't know Dan personally, y'all, there is not a better voice on the mic than Danny Atkins. And Danny's been with me from the beginning, from our first events back in 2023, I believe, Danny. And he will be a fixture of all of my events as long as he can make it. So he's one of the loyal ones I like to keep with me.
Did you see this comment right here by Courtney Hike? She goes, we just had an all-ladies practice at the Ottawa High Hookers Club. 40, as in 38, 39, 40 ladies showed up, all different levels, all various things in the sport, and everyone was humble, sharing, teaching, and learning.
Beautiful.
That right there, once again,
Beautiful.
I might be using this phrase a lot, but that speaks volumes also, because that just goes to show you that, you know what, if we focus on the more important stuff, and I think all the drama bullshit that happened last year can stay there. I think now we done turn the page, we turn a new leaf. This is what it's all about. And that comment right there will jumpstart the whole thing. You know, they all want to learn.
You mentioned earlier, I was a father of three. I'm a father of 3 daughters. I'm a girl dad. So, I'll be glad if I didn't think part of that makes me a little more driven to want to push to women's arm wrestling. Neither of those three pull, don't get me wrong, but just wanting to see women get the what they deserve in life and with their passions like arm wrestling. That's what I want to see from this. So that's, I think that's a lot of it. So when I see things like what Courtney just said right there, that makes me very proud, because I think about my daughters with volleyball or cheerleading or whatever it may be. That's very awesome, Courtney. That makes me very happy to read. Very happy to read.
See, even Tamara's like, oh, time to train. If you see that, time to train, but Tamara, just remember, you're like arm wrestling royalty right now. You do know that, right?
So let's talk about Tamara. Do you think Tamara's got the target from the 154 class? So we've talked about the 154 plus class with us, my event. Who do you think's got the target on her back for 154s? Do you think it's Sarah, Ray? Do you think it's Danielle? Do you think it's Tamara?
That's the thing.
I don't know.
Because, okay, Tamara, legendary puller, multi-time Canadian national provincial champion.
Who doesn't want to beat Tamara? Everybody's going to want to beat Tamara, right? Everybody wants
Hall
to
of Famer. You got Sarah Ray, who's like, okay, legend in the sport in her own right in Texas. She's been on that big giant. She's not afraid of the big lights. She's been on the king of the table before, so she knows what she has to do. Danielle Everson speaks for herself, so it's kind of like that. That's hard.
Yeah, Stephanie Spencer's cutting the weight to get to 154.
Yep.
What's she going to do with the 154 class? I mean, you're talking about a power lifter. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think personally, Stephanie is more dangerous when it's a strap match. And like I said, this is no dig at Stephanie, because I've talked to her time and time again about this. But what she used to do, she used to ask me, how do I get my wrist stronger? Because her weak spot is her wrist. And I'm not trying to give out secrets or anything, but if you happen to slip with Stephanie, good luck, because she's a lot better in the strap than she is out of the strap. I will say that.
And I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the 154 class right now. I'm talking Stephanie Spencer, Tamara Mitz, Sarah Ray, Mackenzie Redmond. Do not sleep on Mackenzie Redmond, y'all. Danielle Evanson, Gina, Scarlett Wood, and Jessica Potts. I mean, you're talking every single one of them are ranked nicely, most of them nationally. And I don't know. I see the three that stick out in my head. I'm not going to say, as a promoter, I cannot say, but I've got the three that stick out in my head. And I'm telling you, Tamara's one of them. These girls, if I'm these 154s, I'm thirsty for a Tamara. That's who.
Or here's a question that we haven't talked about, but I got to bring it up, because here's Nathan Williamson, my co-host, says, to me, these are hard to predict because people may pull out before the event, and that's a possibility. We've had that happen in the past where, they right before the event, a month ahead, hey, I can't do it. But I think what you and Gina talked about, you guys got girls on standby just in case.
I do have people on standby, but what I did, and learning from other events, I should say, I required a deposit for the round robin competitors just to hold their spot. As soon as I see them at the event, I give it right back. You know what I mean? Okay. But hopefully their deposit is more motivating for them to come and show up. If not, it goes back to the pot of that class. And right. I'll just say, like Katie, I'm just gonna say Katie. I'm gonna pick on Katie because she's mine. I know she's gonna be there. But if Katie backs out the last second, her $100 goes to that pot, split up across first, second, and third place. And I'll fill in a backfill for her. So it's that's kind of what we'll do. But yes, we do have folks on standby. Right now, I'm estimating I've got 40 some females right now. It's probably gonna be at the event, 40ish. That's what I'm looking at right now.
And, Silverback shirt looks awesome, by the way. They loving that jersey. So
Appreciate
They
it.
love
Appreciate
that
it.
jersey.
Be Shore Sports. Yeah, appreciate it.
Nathan says, I get that, but unfortunately injuries happen, and we are a long way from these events. And that's what I was talking about earlier, Nathan, when I was
He's
saying,
right. He's right.
There's a handful of these ladies also competing prior to the event, and all we ask for is for them to walk out of those events, their respective events, healthy. No injuries, no nothing.
Nathan's 100% right. And like I said earlier, that of course that's a fear of mine. That's absolutely a fear of mine, and I'm sure it is of Gina's as well. You can't plan for it though. You know what I mean? You don't want to. That's why you put the backfields there. You set them up for matches. And I'm just going to use like let's just say Candy Passmore. Candy's not in the round robin, but I know good and well if I win 154 is able to make it to the round robin, Candy's going to step in because she's got a super match and she's already going to be there, you know. And I know that's going to happen. And I've got a couple. Emma Soto being another one. I've got a couple folks like that I know I could easily slide in there, and that's the best we can do to plan for that. But that's with anything, though. It's not just this event. That's, you know, we as a promoter, we try to set these out far enough to where to give these pullers time to just pick and choose what events they do. But when you have Arnold's in March, kind of a big deal, you know,
and
kind of a big deal.
To Nathan's response, it's the other side of the coin. I'll probably hit home more for you and Gina because your events are 3 weeks apart. Because once again, when we kicked off the show, we talked about the 7 ladies that are competing both. Again, I'll run it down. Stephanie Spencer, Tamara Mitch, Danielle Evanson, Jessica Potts, Katie Marie, Martha Swig, Freddie Forrest. So those 7 ladies I just mentioned are going to be involved in both events, and we're talking 3 weeks apart. And like I said before, you know, is that enough time to go, okay, to recover from that? Because again, you also got to add, there's also a tournament that some of these ladies are going to be competing also.
Yeah.
Are they going to be, and maybe they might just say, you know what? I'm so burnt out. I know I got Allen's event in 3 weeks. You know what? I'm not going to do the tournament today. You may have that. I'm just saying.
I would think, and maybe I'm being too optimistic. I would think and hope those 7 would only pull in the left-hand portion tournament of Gina's. You know what I mean? But I don't think they'll have it in them to pull the right-hand tournament. I hope not. You know, but I hope we see the wars where they're not able to pull in the right-hand portion of the tournament. Now, I don't hope Gina doesn't take that the wrong way. That I'm not saying I don't want people to pull the right-hand tournament. I think we want the intents to round robin, and I think we want to see the wars and the battles. But I think 3 weeks personally, and you know, I've had this talk with mainly amongst men and stuff, but the 3 weeks is plenty of time to turn around and pull again, unless there's an injury. Unless there's an injury. Our normal wear and tear in arm wrestling, yes, plenty of time. But unless there's an injury, and I 100% understand that, then I think 3 weeks is plenty of time, personally.
You got Dan, the man over here, says the queen of the wing. I like that. Going to be so good for North Carolina, North America, us ladies. You know what? I like that. You know, and like I said, and you and I have talked about that. I'm sure you and Gina has talked about that, where it's like, you know what? When it comes to round robins, the first word you talk about is strategy, right? So, you know, you can kind of go, and like I just mentioned, yeah, you know, I think I'm going to sit out the tournament, you know, because I want to make sure I'm putting all my baskets in because, you know, if I'm Katie Marie, we'll use her for example.
Yeah.
If I know I'm putting all my A's in this basket at Gina's because I see Maddie or Merlene, and then you come around 3 weeks later and going, oh, there's Beth Dukes. Well, shit, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not
like,
hey, at what point do you kind of go, you know what? Maybe the tournament is not what I want to do right now. No disrespect. Now I can after pull, but the tournament, I might roll out of that. You know, because again,
yeah,
if Dukes is not pulling in Gina's round robin, Katie Hankey's not pulling in round robin, you know, Lexi Deerfield, Christina Coucher, they're not Hennessy, they're not pulling in Gina's round robin. So they might be sip their liquor chops going, oh, please.
Yeah. And I'd be lying. So let me change hats. Let me take my promoter hat off and let me wear the agent hat with Katie. When I started seeing the number of competitors at Queen at the Table, I was like, ugh, you know, because now I'm thinking about Katie. I'm thinking about Katie only. I'm not so much thinking about the other 6 competitors, but I'm thinking about Katie's wear and tear going. I think it's 12 women in her round robin at Queen of the Table, whereas I'm only having 8. And I'll be honest with you, I'm anticipating one dropping out, and I'm not going to backfill it necessarily. I'd like to keep it at 7. Just going to be completely transparent. I'd like to keep it at 7 because I watched 10 we were getting very low quality matches and some unsafe matches with my men at 10. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it as a ref. And when I'm looking at these 12 women, I'm thinking about the wear and tear on the arms. So I'm not crazy about the 12. And I'm glad to see what Shane just said, Katie going to left-hand tournament. But I'm hoping a lot of the other females take that same aspect and they're just thinking, all right, 3 weeks from now, what do I need to do to be smart? It's strategy. It's a lot of strategy. And that's one, the arm wrestling doesn't get enough credit for being a thinking man and woman sport. But you get two veteran pullers in there, and you can actually watch their wheels spinning when they're thinking, and you see a lot of veteran pullers when they know they're in a bad position and they're not going to come back. Go ahead and give that round up. Give that round up, and I'll be ready for the next one. And I'm hoping these ladies can use that same reapplied as well.
Yeah, I get it. Courtney says, is Katie going to Arnold's or North America at IFA or the North America WAF, which all 3 are in the month of March, by the way. Yeah.
No,
a lot going on in March.
Yeah, she's not at this moment. She's not. We haven't discussed that yet. Not saying we may not decide for her to between now and then, but at this point, no.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I think the Arnold is the same weekend as the North America Championships in Ottawa, Canada. And then the following weekend is the North America Championships IFA, if you may, in Las Vegas. So there's a lot going on. So, but
yeah,
hey.
and she's really focused on the 2 round robins and going back to it. She's an amazing mom. She's a coach for her son's basketball team, so she's got that as well. So she's a mom first, and I absolutely love that. And that's why if you note every single event, 98% North Carolina. And gosh, it's probably going to bother people when I say this. I do revolve it around Katie's weekends where she doesn't have her kids. So, whatever.
That's just being smart. That's all. It's being smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. One last thing, everybody. So, May 2nd, North Carolina, top 3 payouts. First place, 500. Second place, 250. Third place, 125. I'm sure there'll be other stuff that Alan might add, but once again, Alan, my friend, thank you for joining me. And I'm going to start loading this up. I'm going to start getting some of the ladies on your event on my show so you can sit there and talk shop also.
Yeah. Like I said, we've got quite a few great personalities. I highly recommend getting Leah Hennessy on there. She's a hoot. Obviously, you know what you get with Candy. Queen Candy, I like to call her. But, you know what you get with a lot of these personalities. They're amazing ladies. I am very humbled, very excited, very proud to develop the relationship I have with them so far as a promoter. And sometimes, I get in there talking to them. I kind of feel like their stupid little brother, when I talk to them. And but it's been a lot of fun, and this has just been different from what I've done so far with men, where I started with amateur men, then going to the super match series. But with everything we're doing with 98, and where I like to stay a little unique, and where I'm doing 98 North Carolina in 2026, all the different types of events, including our first inaugural tournament, which I've never hosted. I'm looking forward to this kind of just really springboarding 98 North Carolina in 2026.
There you go. Well, my friend, I know it's lit over there in your neck of the woods. It's almost dinner time over here out west. But I just want to say thank you for giving me some time today so we can talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I know a lot more now than I did before. So I want to thank you very much. And yes, I will have you back on so we can sit there and talk some more shop.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you for the opportunity. And just, shout out to 98% and Ryan Grind, everybody giving me this opportunity. And thank you for giving me this platform to be able to speak on the event. So 100% grateful. I look forward to everything we can build in the future, Jody.
Yes, sir. Enjoy your night. And everybody, thanks for watching the show. We'll talk to y'all soon.